When flicking through the channels in the early 2000s, just catching a few seconds of Emeril Lagasse's Food Network show would be enough to linger in your subconscious for life.
What's the verdict back there? What did she say? Yeah. Yeah? She said yes? Unbelievable. These guys proposed in between eggs over here.
Emeril Live was truly unlike any cooking show at the time. It resembled a late-night talk show far more than a traditional culinary show, complete with a live audience, opening monologue.
But I gotta tell you something, there's one type of restaurant that's always in style. The steakhouse. Oh yeah, man.
House band.
Give it up for Doc Gibbs and Cliff, everybody.
And even celebrity guests.
Great friend Joe Montaigne in the house. Yeah.
Emeril wasn't just a TV personality. He was a brand, one of the first in a new era of celebrity chefs, one that included cookbooks, food products, and a chain of restaurants around the country.
Because right now, you're giving me like a heart attack.
The culmination of Emeril's fame, though, was headlining a sitcom, simply titled Emeril for NBC.
So the next time you want to do something special for your sweetheart, you just say, honey, guess what? I've got crabs!
And to those of you saying, wait, this was a thing, you're not alone, as even those who tuned into the show seem to have little memory of it. This is mostly because NBC chose to air the first episode on September 25th, 2001, just 2 weeks after an event that preoccupied most of the country, which would have made the show hard enough to sell to audiences alone had it not also been set in New York City and featured a shot of the World Trade Center in its opening. It was critically reviled right out of the gate, with the New York Times calling its first episode a hacking, sputtering mess.
Emeril, we love you, we love your show, we love everything about you, and that pie you made, honey, that pie changed my life.
Who's that supposed to be, honey?
A southern woman who likes pie.
I'd work on it.
While the LA Times said, it's pretty dreadful stuff, made all the worse by Emeril being overshadowed by his own supporting cast. Lagasse schmasse, dump this sucker fast.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, hey, we'll win him over.
NBC heeded those words, canceling Emeril after just 7 episodes had aired. Since then, the only time the show is talked about seems to be in retrospectives of the biggest celebrity blunders of all time. Its inception, production, and swift cancellation make for an interesting study of celebrity culture at the dawn of a new era. Here's how it all began.
Done! Finished! Capiche?
This video is brought to you by HelloFresh. Fortunately, you no longer have to tune into a cable TV cooking show to learn how to cook great recipes thanks to HelloFresh. They offer an expansive list of over 50 weekly meals to choose from, and with their customizable, personalized plans, you can select menu options that work best for you. Best of all, HelloFresh delivers right to your door. When your box arrives, you'll find everything conveniently packaged and ready to use. All of the seasonal produce is so fresh, and the protein is premium high quality. The ingredients are all pre-portioned out, so you'll spend hardly any time measuring, and there will be way less cleanup when you're done. Because I work non-traditional work hours, HelloFresh has been perfect for me. I simply go to my fridge, pick a meal, and I'm sitting down to a home-cooked dinner that I could have never made on my own in less than 30 minutes. There's no time wasted deciding what to eat or tediously measuring out ingredients. On top of being delicious, each recipe also teaches me something new that I can use for future recipes going forward. Use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use code POGHATSFEB65 for 65% off your first meal plus free shipping. Once again, use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use the promo code seen on screen. Now, in hindsight, while it appears to be a baffling decision to give Emeril a sitcom, at the time it actually made a lot of sense to those involved. One of the hardest parts of producing a successful sitcom is in finding its audience. But Emeril already had an established fan base that was turning up for all of his business ventures. On Emeril Live, they literally ate him up, losing their minds at something as simple as him seasoning a dish.
So you dredge your fillet of salmon in the sugar. Watch this.
Linda Bloodworth Thomason saw this and realized the potential of a sitcom starring Emeril. Linda was a veteran television producer, most known for creating Designing Women, Evening Shade, and Hearts of Fire. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter in 2019, she said this of the show: "I love Emeril, but he was expected to become an actor overnight, and it just didn't work. You can't script Emeril."
I don't want to hear any lip. How many times I gotta tell you broads? Do not bust my chops when I'm conducting business.
Realizing that Emeril lacked the acting experience needed to headline a sitcom, producers decided that the premise for the show should be a show within a show.
I wasn't talking about no Hooters or Tooters or some big old white underpants on a radiator.
Highlighting the behind-the-scenes production of Emeril Live. Though because the show is airing on NBC, they couldn't use the word Emeril Live or the Food Network, so this show is just called Emeril also. This way, Emeril could perform in a way that he was used to, as he gradually transitioned to the format of sitcom acting.
And now, we're gonna kick it up a notch and add some cayenne pepper.
Originally, the plan was to center episodes around both Emeril's work life as well as his life at home with his family.
I gotta tell you, that thing about waiting to have sex by showing me how the best cheese is aged, yeah, I still have nightmares about that.
Because for some reason they thought Emeril could handle those typical sitcom dad speeches, complete with sappy instrumental music.
I bought you a little present. Why don't you go back to sleep now, okay? I'll see you in the morning.
Test screenings for this original pilot were disastrous, and producers decided to reformat the show to focus more on Lagasse's work life.
My life's completely out of control.
When news of this broke, the show quickly became a punching bag before it even aired.
Why do you people have to be so extreme?
NBC president Jeff Zucker, the genius behind the 2009 Tonight Show fiasco, said at the time, "We are working on that pilot and it will be considerably different from what you saw. We believe in it. We believe in the team behind it. And we believe that there's something to Emeril and the program."
And if they told you Wolverines would make good house pets, would you believe them?
Conceptually, I guess they were drawing inspiration from the Larry Sanders Show, just without the wit or charm.
They want to show their viewers what's behind the apron.
What are you, crazy? You know what's behind the apron. We went camping together.
This is made clear with the addition of Emeril's manager as a character on this revamped show, played by Robert Urich.
Should we get waxed? And is all body hair out? I mean, can we at least keep the South 40?
While Emeril's fictional wife and children weren't erased completely from the show, they only made occasional appearances from here on out, usually when they visited the set, as Emeril's home life was not seen for the rest of the series.
You're never gonna be home now.
This new show was based primarily during the day-to-day production of the show, with the comedy stemming from the situations in the workplace, because there certainly weren't enough better ones at the time.
Bam, 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 bam. Bam.
In the new pilot, it's like they even tried to make reference to having to revamp the show, with the episode revolving around Emeril being forced to reinvent his show after a negative review.
There was an article in Culinary Weekly today that read, and I quote, "Emeril boasts wide appeal but lacks the edgy hipness to attract upscale viewers."
Oh, that guy. He's always ragging on us.
What could be a really fun, self-referencing satire on what happened, the episode just quickly devolves into lame jokes and setups.
I don't like this chef coat. I look like the bellboy at the Ramada Inn.
It's clear from watching the second pilot that the network tried to fix the show by surrounding Emeril with eccentric, bold personalities. There's his producer, Cassandra, played by Lisa Walter.
Oh, you always do that. You're like Mr. Psychic Hotline. Vicky, you say you suspect that was his car outside the motel. I had to tell your girlfriend that was his car.
His production head Melva, played by Sherry Shepard.
And then he asked for some Imodium.
Oh.
Yeah, can you believe that? Should have emoted his odium.
And Carrie Preston as his food stylist.
And that great big old comforter to myself, and I love it. Nobody telling me, BD, you're snoring. BD, you're sweating. BD, get your damn stuffed animals off the bed.
Shut your yaps. I don't want to hear any lip.
When placed up against these characters, Emeril quietly fades into the background of his own show. At times you even forget he's in the scene as he just sits there interjecting only occasionally.
So that would be,
$4,347.82 a person. I could pay off all my credit cards and start answering my phone in my real voice again.
I could take my grandma on that Alaskan cruise.
Oh my gosh, I could go on an Alaskan cruise with your grandma.
Shut your yaps.
It's so clear that the network was using his name and audience to market the show, while giving him less and less to do as the series went on. Apparently, Lagasse knew this, and knew the show wouldn't work, but he tried to make the best of it. He does seem to be trying really hard here, but his personality just doesn't work in a sitcom format.
All right.
romantic dinner time is officially over.
He does come alive during the cooking segments, though, where he appears much more relaxed and at ease.
Good tip is that if you leave the duck in the refrigerator a couple of days in advance, it'll absorb some of the fat. Oh, can you smell that?
The set featured a fully functional kitchen, with Emeril cooking real recipes that were posted online after each episode. He also reportedly was always cooking meals for the cast and crew. This begs the question, wouldn't audiences just prefer to watch Emeril's actual cooking show, where they wouldn't have to sit through unfunny comedy bits in between recipes?
You don't see Wolfgang Puck standing around in a little nightie waiting to be weighed in. Yeah, we're gonna have lots of fun today, yeah. We're gonna take all our clothes off and squeeze lots and lots of vegetables. Yeah. We're gonna boost it up a little. Kapow.
It's such a weird choice for a premise, showing the fake production of a real cooking show that was airing on another network at the same time. The ironic part is, I feel like this could have been a decent show if it didn't star Emeril, but rather a character loosely based on him. It could have been a great satire of Emeril Live and the rise of the celebrity chef. The show is so concerned with showing what a nice guy Emeril is, leaving hardly any room to poke fun at him.
Is Emeril as nice as he seems?
Absolutely, he is. I like to think of him as Martha Stewart with friends.
If people wanted to watch Emeril, they'd watch him at what he was good at, not this.
Because we're here to pick up guys. Big, handsome guys.
In fairness to him, even though he took a critical beating for his acting, he's not that bad. He's not great either, but he is an experienced entertainer, and does have a natural charisma.
I'm a simple guy. I mean, I want to cook for the latchkey kid who watches us after school every day. And the people that want to kick sauerkraut up 50 notches.
It just gets lost in a rote workplace sitcom that's very light on jokes that actually are funny. I mean, how many wacky scenarios for the production of a cooking show could the writers realistically come up with?
I still gotta caramelize my turnips.
You gotta caramelize your turnips. It gets me so excited, I want to stuff something.
Well, when we come back, Bert's gonna stuff something.
They jump the shark by episode 3, which revolves around Emeril having to schmooze with a mobster to get a deal on wholesale beef.
Put people through meat grinders. Where'd you say this meat came from?
Mostly because there was a mob TV show really popular at the time. What was it called?
The Sopranos.
The Sopranos.
Sopranos.
The Sopranos.
Tony Soprano.
The Sopranos.
Sopranos.
Soprano.
Tony Soprano.
I don't love The Sopranos.
Okay, we get it. People like The Sopranos. How much more could they rub that in the audience's face this episode?
So we're back with Vincent Pastore, who played the role of Big Pussy on The Sopranos.
I don't see you for all this time. No word. Nothing. And this is the way you come back to me?
Cooking with Big Pussy.
Ratings for the show continued to dip, and reviews didn't get much better. Although 10 episodes were filmed, only 7 made it to air before the network pulled the plug on Emeril.
Bam! Just, oh! Can feel the love in here, can't you, huh?
When viewing it today, it's painfully clear that no one could figure out what this show should be. Like I said, a workplace comedy centered around a celebrity chef could have been ripe for satire, had the show not starred an actual celebrity chef who had his own cooking show on at the same time. I'm glad everyone involved was able to move on and put the failure of the show behind them. While Emeril has kept trying new show formats, he never again attempted a sitcom, and it's clear from watching any episode of the show why that it is.
Well, if I get the fat sucked out of me, Nora's gonna notice. She's gonna reach for a love handle and fall off the bed.
Cooking with Big Pussy.